back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope I wasn't like talking and fucking none of it was being recorded, because I was just talking and talking and talking, and was it like, did everyone hear what I was saying? Because at a certain point the comments like stopped, so I thought I was frozen. And I was like, man, fuck it, I just said anything. But if it was, fuck. Okay, I was live. Okay, thank God. Shit. I would have got butt naked and I would have been like dancing. No, but it's just joking. So anyway, as I was saying, that is the key idea of why I created my characters in such a way. Why I resorted to making it in such a storyline where, again, it revolves around the centerpieces of my story. So that is why that's why it's Mito. That's why I have Mr. Insanity, and it's as real as it gets for me. It's kind of like I'm giving everyone like kind of front row seats to my show. So hence, welcome to the show. Because at the end of the day, it really is a show that I have to put on based around my life. And this is what I mean by, hey, like, if I'm going to do this, it's got to be, you're putting yourself out there, you're putting this character out there, you're bringing it to life, essentially. Understand the repercussions. And if you're not able to combat it, if you're not able to fight it, you're fucked. And that was the one key factor that I had to really sit down and think about if I was going to do music. Yes, I like that, because somebody said it doesn't feel like you're giving power to Mito. It feels like you're facing your demons. And yes, that is the angle that I'm trying to go at it with. That is precisely the angle that I am trying to go at this. Because here's the thing, right? What made me proc my decision to go for it is, number one, what if by doing this, by putting me in the spotlight, by putting me on site, in a very uncomfortable situation with it, what if by doing that, that's proccing me to actually do something more about it? For me, it's like, I kind of see that as maybe the universe telling me that is precisely how you should combat it, instead of denying it and, instead of like just kind of putting it to the side and just kind of trying to avoid it. For me, what if you headbutt it? What if you like go front on, grab the bulls by the horn, and just fucking dive into it? 화려함에 푹 빠졌다. Okay. What if that is the only way to fight against it? And I thought, man, that was my first thought. What if that is the power of manifestation? That is... Okay, sorry, I'll get back to that. But yeah, what if that was the only way to combat this? And number two, would this story serve as purpose and inspiration and motivation for people that are just like me? And that was an obvious yes for me. For me, that reason kind of nailed everything in. It was, okay, fuck it. It's not just my journey. It's not just my story. This can be somebody else's story. This could very well be somebody else's story that is happening in a very different way, but still hitting the same chords. And maybe they just need a voice. Maybe they just need the light. That's it. Even if it's not directly from my songs, if it's not directly from my video, what if it's like, what if it's just through this? Like, what if it's just through me talking about it? What if it's just through something? You know, for me, it doesn't necessarily have to be music or videography or something like that, but if it's the catalyst, if it's the vessel of where everything is like, hey man, this is like, it's working, then somebody catches just wind of that, it changes their lives. And here's the crazy part, right? So while I'm still on this subject, it was crazy. It was crazy for me when I first went on this world tour. Sorry, I'm just having so many thoughts right now. When I first went onto this world tour, I was dreading it. I didn't want to go on this world tour because I was scared that I might be in a very vulnerable state, such as Mido, and I would have to go on stage. And I knew it was going to happen. I knew it, because how can it not? It's a cycle. I was scared I was going to go into a cycle and I'll have to go on stage and give you the biggest smile. So I was dreading it until, I started having a lot of conversations with my friends, especially with a friend. The thing is, my friend told me, like, what if there's a purpose to this? You know, what if this... For me, I didn't think I had a purpose to my artistry. I kind of thought maybe it was deaded when I released the songs or I released the videos, but I totally denied the fact that I've never got to see the people that I wanted to make an impact on. And I was completely deprived of that because obviously Corona and all of that was happening. So I never really got to see my audience up front. I never got to see the people that I was in the crowd with. And being on this tour, the first thing that I learned, the one thing that really got to me was obviously the performance and everything and the chanting, but it's always the conversations that I have back after the show's finished, and the fans would come to me, right? Yeah, and they come to me and they tell me, they stop me for a brief moment, and I remember so many people, even in the crowd, crying and bawling, and it wasn't like a crying as if it was it looked like they were hurt and they were just releasing everything in that moment. It was like, I see it every show, and honestly, like that, I could feel it. I don't know, it feels like they came to release, and they needed it more than anything. And for me, when I see that, it hits me. It hits me so hard. And the stories that everyone tell me, the stories that people tell me, that through the album or something, that it got them through. I have people that say that I saved their lives, and it's crazy. It's such a crazy thought. It's such a crazy experience. Something that I never thought I would have the power to heal. I think I was so fixated on fighting my own demons, I've never realized that it was becoming a beacon of hey, you can fight your own demons too. And I think that is at the point where I was like, wow, this is actually a lot more bigger than myself. Like this is way beyond just me. This isn't about me. This is about what I can do and use through me to create. And here's the thing, if it changes just one person's life, through any type of way, positively, that's enough for me. Honestly, that is fucking it. Because yes, and this is what I want to tell people that say that I've saved their lives. This is what I want to say. You have equally saved mine. Like, that is, without a question, genuinely true. Like, you have, like, each of these shows, each of these moments make me understand why I should be giving so much power to this. It's literally the catalyst, the reason why I do this. And I tell this to everyone at my show. I say this to every single show I go to. It's literally just, if you're hesitant about something and you're not too sure, and but you love something, there's got to be a reason to it. There's always a reason to it. I've never always it's so funny, I always talk about not being able to trust the process, and yet I still do it. I still do it because I feel like there's always a higher purpose for it. There's always a higher reason. I always say there's a blessing in disguise. Man, there's so many times that I tell myself, this is it. Like, this is fucking it. Like, I can't go any more than this. Like, this is too much. I tell myself that so much. You wouldn't even imagine. I say that to myself so much. But self-talk, as someone has told me, goes a long way, right? We often don't know, but the self-talks that we have to ourselves create habitual patterns. They create the habits of not being able to come out of certain dark moments. But man, it just takes one epiphany. It just takes one moment of you to just be like, what if I take a step forward, not take a step back? What if I don't let my instincts kick in? And what if I just, for the first time, do something that will make me so uncomfortable, but fuck it, man. What if I just go take a step forward into it? And I think those are the moments where you don't even realize, but that it's you're facing your demons. And I think I'm able to now harness Mito and Mr. Insanity. Granted, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, granted, I'm not gonna always say it's gonna always be like that. Like, there's no way I can always stay in control. There's no way. There's gonna be times I'm gonna fuck up. There's gonna be probably times where Mito will take over completely. But I think if we're too fixated on the moments that ruin us, we let the moments where we absolutely have enjoy and are grateful for pass. And I think that isn't living. I think being in the moment, as much as the moments ruin you, you should also be in the moments that make you. Does that make sense? I'm sorry. For me, anyway, so long story short, you guys keep me in the moment. And for me, Mito is real. So is Mr. Insanity. And when Mito, a question that I get too is, do you feel the songs when you were in Mito, when you made the songs? I'll give you just a brief answer. Simply no. So sometimes, what was very interesting? This was an epiphany that I had, ladies and gentlemen. During my show in Brazil or Mexico, I think, I was in a state where I was completely down, and I was almost completely engulfed. And that was the day prior, when I was engulfed by Mito. So I had remnants left. But when I went on rehearsals, and it was the first time that I was in that state, and I went to sing. It was all the songs that I made when I was Mito. So Beautiful, Mito. Scaredy Cat. Fuck, what was it? Nerves. Man, all of a sudden, how do I explain this? The first time, and I'm sorry for the people that went to the shows not knowing this, but if I was being completely honest, I wasn't in that state. So it was very hard for me to bring that emotion back. But when I was in that state, all of a sudden it felt like home. When I was singing Nerves, when I was singing So Beautiful, and all of a sudden I felt so comfortable singing it for the first time, and it was such a crazy moment for me, and honestly it brought me to tears. I don't know if you know, but when I was in the show for Brazil, I think Scaredy Cat, I never in my life would I've ever imagined to be almost breaking down to that song. I mean, granted, it was a state that I was in at that time, but I just never would have imagined going on tour that would have happened to me. But that was the power of having the feelings just rushing in just at once. And it was crazy. It was so surreal. And I felt so in tune with everyone's energy. It was intense. It was absolutely intense. That's all I can say. So here's the thing. It's not a bad thing, by the way, that I was in tears. It was a moment for me to realize what I was doing was right, what I should be doing. I'm on the right path. And number two, the fact that I can share that with everyone around the world, everywhere, like Latin America, yes, like that was just the moment that in Chile, in Mexico City. Man, it was crazy because it started from Mexico City. Like it was like a whole, oh God, it was like a whole episode. But just from America, like just from all the cities in America, like it was literally building up to this moment here. I'm extremely excited for what's in tune for the future. Asia, Europe, Korea, and of course Australia. Like we're just definitely gonna go there. So for me, it was quite a lot because it was such a good gradual build up of me being aware of my purpose, of what I'm doing, what I should be doing. And it gave me a sense of relief in a way. Even if I was in the most manic fucking episode, there's gonna be times where you don't feel like you're on the right path. There's gonna be so many moments where you just have no fucking clue what you're doing or why you're doing it. But man, there's something that I've learned over the years is there's always a fucking reason. there's always a reason for everything. Whether you like it or not, there's always a reason for everything. It's really how we choose to see it sometimes. It really is. I mean, they say it, right? Like, perspective is everything. It's really how we choose to see things at the end of the day. And I know at times that could be very hard, given the condition. Given the conditions of your context. I'll give you that. But man, like, I think that's just something that we have to somehow overcome. We just have to somehow fight through it. I want to be able to tell everyone that you might think it's fucking the end, but it's not. It's the universe's way of telling you you're just getting stronger. That's all. It makes your skin thicker, right? You get thick skin. You can't expect to change in a day. There's no way. You always hear it, Rome wasn't built in a day. Everything takes time. Like, everything takes time. Everything takes steps. For me, I know I say this a lot. I preach this a lot. But I'm still learning. I still procrastinate a lot too, by the way. And I still am a victim to my own fucking ways. And it's just like, you know, it's something that we just need to hear from time to time. We just need a reminder. You can't always expect to be on point. Alright? And this is all for all the perfectionists out there. Go a little softer on yourselves. You're doing great. You're doing fine. Don't worry. You're doing fucking fine. And if no one has ever told you, if no one has ever told you this, I'll just say it. But I am proud of you. I really am. Yeah. That is literally sometimes we just need to hear that, ladies and gentlemen. We just do, because honestly, that is everything. It takes time to grow and well. Yes, it does. You know, everything takes time, and I think we're all in a little rush. Of course we are. I'm in a big rush too. But man, it's just, I think we're too much in a rush to really know, like, everything's just fucking passing by. We don't fixate yourself too much on the bad things, dude. It's a lot more going on than that. And, you know, don't expect things to, like, stay good. I'll just be brutally honest. Nothing ever stays gold. Nothing ever stays, like, constant. But you see, that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of life. I think that's the nature of it. Once you learn to understand that what makes a moment so beautiful is the moment that makes it not. I think that's just the key balance of things. You have order and chaos. For me, I always tell this too. This is the one thing I always tell my friends, but order and chaos is the epitome of what's beautiful. It's not, you have to perfect something for you to break it down. You get it? It's how I craft art. It's the perspective that I look at my artistry. You make it to break it, and it's the process of that makes it so beautiful. And then you make it again just to break it. A lot of people think, man, you shouldn't break it. And if you break it, nor should you make it again, because it's going to break again. No, but that's the beauty of it. It's understanding that's the process of it. It gets tiring. It gets so tiring sometimes. And you sometimes wonder, man, when is it ever going to get good for me? But you got to understand, it has always been good. It's how we look at it. It's how we perceive it. And all it takes sometimes is a little nudge to the right or a little nudge to the left for you to see it. But till that time, just know that you're growing. Things are happening in the right way. Even if you think, man, like, someone fucking hates me up there. No, everything has a reason. And this is why I always say it too, right? It's, when do you feel like you grow the most? Is it the times where you're laughing and you're outside and you're on a roller coaster, and you're having ice cream and you're, like, you know, having fun? Or is it the time where you think everything's turned to shit, everyone's against me, the whole world has turned its back on me, and I somehow miraculously need to turn this shit around? But somehow, some way, I don't know when, but next few days, next few weeks, you're still here. You're not gone. And things are just starting to get better. And you're still here. But something inside of you is different. Something has changed. And you have grown. You have obviously taken a lot of damage. You got scars. But you see, there's scars of beauty. So, don't worry. It's not, yes, from ashes comes life. That's a beautiful way of putting it. It's a part of life. It's the beauty of it, right? It's what makes it magical. Man, I would hate to just be constantly be like smiling and fucking eating ice cream, and just that would be scary. I mean, that's kind of reminds me of the movie Smile. But imagine that, having a world where everything was just so fucking perfect that you don't even know why it was perfect or what the definition of perfect is. You gotta have your downs to understand what the beauty of up is, and you gotta have your ups to also now understand what the beauty of down is. Because I know a lot of people say you gotta understand what the downs are to know what the ups are, but it's also vice versa. It's also vice versa. You have to understand a lot of the ups. And what I mean by that is it's a thing, right? We don't really think about times where we are laughing or we're having fun. So we don't process it. We're just in the moment, right? But we process the moments that we're afraid of. It puts fear in us when it gets scary, when we have self-doubt, all of that. Because it sticks out. It makes us feel so much that we're uncomfortable with it. But my thing is this, man, what if we switch that? What if we're so aware and attentive of the moments that we should be grateful for, that all of a sudden, like our downs, all of a sudden, it doesn't seem too scary or bad because you know it's a cycle. Just my 2 cents. I'm not saying it's the best advice ever, but I'm just saying. It's just saying, 2 cents. Personally, that's what's been working for me. If anything, it broadened my perspective. It allows me to look at life in a more positive way. Even at times where it's just like you don't think it's going to get better, you give power to that, right? You give power to what you put your mind to. That's it. End of story, right? You either can or you can't. That's it. It's 2 options. I don't think there's an in-between. You either can or you can't. That's it. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how it always fucking goes into this. I always have my therapy session. By the way, this is more like for me as well. Like, I know people say thank you and everything, but this to me is also my therapy session because I get to vent. Funny that I get to vent to the world, but it's like, but hey man, fuck it. If somebody out there could relate to this, and if it makes your day any better, then why the fuck not? It's for free, alright? 서연아, 누가 서연 씨 부른다. 서연 씨 누가 불러요? 아무튼, anyway, that's my little piece of advice. It did come from my experience, but hey, I'm gonna say, man, days are just gonna get darker. Fuck it, man. It's as long as you're still here, let's make the most out of it. Might as well. Yes. You're all precious. You're all worth it. Okay? At the end of the day, just have your little moment. Just do whatever you want. And just give back to yourself. Lastly, just give back to yourself. And this is for the people that give too much. This is for the givers. The people that relentlessly just fucking give. Because they are too sensitive on how somebody else thinks. They're too scared to get somebody else's feelings hurt. I'm not telling you not to give. Give as much as you want. But give back to yourself. And how you do that is you have to sometimes... And this is the way procrastination happens, right? You got to give back to yourself. You got to make time to find time for yourself so you can still give to others, okay? I'm not saying it's wrong to give to others. If that's in your nature, you can't change that. I'm sorry. And nor should you. And I know why people are like, sometimes they'll be like, man, I've been doing this and I've been fucked over here and there and there and there. But you know what will hurt you more is if you try changing the nature of who you are from those bad experiences. Because you will eventually come back to it and it's gonna hurt you even more. I know. Just my 2 cents. Personal experience. just find a moment in time where you can heal so you can keep on doing what you do. Because we need people like you. We need people like you. Just gonna put that out there. Anyway, I will see you. 저는 이제 자러 갑니다, 여러분. 저는 이제 자러 가기는 개뿔이고요. 저는 어떻게든 좀 자려고 해볼게요. Thank you so much for listening to my rant. I know it wasn't too much, but it was very fun. It was well duly noted. Thank you. It was delightful. And I hope you enjoyed my 먹방. 먹방도 되게, I hope you had fun. Be my happy place. I will absolutely be a happy place. Yes, this is a new little tattoo here. I have to go now. I don't know why I'm awkwardly standing like this. But enjoy the rest of your nights, ladies and gentlemen. Love Mido. By the way, I saw a theory the other day on the Mido movie part 1. I saw a theory. And it was kind of shockingly close to, I'm not even going to say it, but it was kind of pretty accurate. And I was kind of like shocked. So yes, you guys are on the right track. And it is kind of scary that you guys somehow deciphered a lot of these things. But yes, Mido is very real, and I hope you guys look forward to the next adventure. So stupid. I was like, yeah, so sweet dreams. I'm good now, by the way. I know I'm a little cuckoo, but I'm balanced. Fucking balanced. Oh shit, man! I hope people don't see what the fuck. Anyway, I'm good, and I hope you're good. I hope you're good. Fuck, man! I need to take a break. Like this is 2 hours, 3 hours of Instagram Live. I remember when they just limited it to 1 hour, but they were just like, hey Ian, like just fucking go for it. Just do whatever you want, and just gave me all the time in the world to do this. 아무튼 제 말 너무 많았죠. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, someone said I'm spiraling. I'm not, I swear to God. This is just my fluffy, lovey-dovey state. Oh, and a good reference for like when I'm not like this is actually the Zach Sang show. If you guys watch that interview, that's when I'm pivoting down. So it's a huge contrast. And you know what's crazy? I look different when I pivot down and when I'm up. It's crazy. You know when they say physically what your mental state can do to you? I'm the epitome of that. And my friends can all account for that. They're like, man, you look like so many good... And hence, Mido. Oh my God, I'm rambling again. When I'm Mido during the music videos, see how different I look from when I'm Mido to when I'm Ian. Completely different. And it's not the makeup. I swear to God, it's not the makeup. My eyes look different. I don't know what it is. I've always had it ever since I can remember. But my eyes sink, and it's like my face just like I turned to a fucking skeleton or something, and it's crazy. That's why Mido is real. End of story. Mido is real. Is that guitar pick on your ear? I don't know. But anyway, I'll see you later. Peace. Thank you. How do I close this again?